Amgamel Mohemo, greetings. I am Ryan Opalanya Ted Pierce, member of the Nanacoke Lenni Lenape Tribal Nation. I'm also a member of the American Indian Community House of New York City and have been a member since 2001. And I'm also founder and artistic director of Eagle Project. And I'd like to welcome you all to the American Indian Community House's Facebook Live weekly updates. And I'm also here today with Maria.
Wani matopang wami hawanik natasuis Maria Wilkins nutomas masipiat nuwampanam nawikantam kawita patananat ka nawikantam kawikamanamu. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Maria Wilkins. I'm an Easterner from Mashpee. I'm happy to be here with you. Thank you for inviting me. I am new to the community house. Just this past week, I had the pleasure of taking part in one of the Native American Theater Thursday productions. I was Natalie Fortune Boy in the play Carlisle, written by Merton Running Wolf, and that was a thrill for me. So thank you for including me in that, and I'm happy to be here with all you today.
Fantastic, and I'm coming to you live from the Lenape Island of Mannahatta, also known as New York City, and happy summer, and we thank you for joining the American Indian Community House. I hope you're all having a safe holiday weekend, whether or not you are observing the 4th of July. And as a Native nonprofit serving the needs of our Native and Indigenous communities here in the New York City region for the past 50 years, AICH, American Indian Community House, understands America's Independence Day is both celebrated and also contested in Native communities. I will go into that in a bit, but first we are grateful for your support and thank you for tuning in every Sunday. We are getting a strong presence on our YouTube channel. If you have not already subscribed to the AICH YouTube channel, it would be much appreciated if you did. Your active support helps ensure our visibility continues on various outlets. Now, this weekend saw the protests and demonstrations by different Sioux Nation leaders, activists, and allies regarding Trump's visit to South Dakota. In particular, his visit to a mountain in the Black Hills, otherwise referred to as Mount Rushmore. The National Guard was deployed and sent in to break up the peaceful protests. The Sioux were awarded the Black Hills in the infamous Fort Laramie Treaty of 1868. Keeping in fashion of negating Indian treaties and with the discovery of gold in the Black Hills, the United States illegally confiscated the Black Hills from the great Sioux nations. The U.S. to this day is illegally occupying the Black Hills territory. Additionally, the sacred mountains have been desecrated with the Mount Rushmore Monument. Despite the continued disrespect and broken treaties, the Great Sioux Nations have high numbers of enlisted active duty U.S. military service members and veterans. For a country that has not been good to the Sioux peoples bravely fought and served, fighting for the rights of all Americans. And AICH is committed to all our relatives across Turtle Island. Please join us this coming Tuesday, July 7th at 6 p.m. Eastern for our social justice series hosted by my AICH colleague, Tatiana Benale Dine. Each week, Tatiana presents different topics, and this Tuesday, we will be learning about the history of the 6 grandfathers in honor of the work our relatives in Lakota territory are doing to bring justice to the desecration of the sacred site at the Black Hills. We will discuss some of the history and lead up to what's happening on the ground today. The series is hosted on Zoom, so please register to sign up. It will also be streamed live on Facebook. Now, last week, we were celebrating Pride Month, LGBTQ, Two-Spirit rights, and indigiqueer activism. AICH celebrates Pride Month every month of the year and continues our legacy of supporting people living with HIV/AIDS. At the Community House, we are fortunate to have talented LGBTQ Two-Spirit activists like our staff member, Tony Enos, Eastern Band of Cherokee. Tony is a singer, songwriter, music producer, and will be performing live for the upcoming virtual 2020 International AIDS Conference that starts tomorrow, July 6th. And Tony just released his newly anticipated studio album, Positive. The album explores Tony's life as a two-spirit person living with HIV for the past 14 years. Anyone who has had the privilege of meeting Tony or watching him perform live, and I personally have had the privilege many times, he's performed with us, it's been fantastic, knows just how much heart he puts into everything he does. His music is filled with compassion, empathy, and love. Tony encourages and motivates people to navigate their lives without shame, to move forward into happiness and thrive. He is a true guiding light for people living with HIV. Tony courageously announced his HIV status a few years ago, and in doing so, he has opened the door for others to come public with their status. Positive is also available on iTunes. The album also features vocals from Tony's sister, Vienna Enos.
Last week, AICH was thrilled to announce news about our current presence on Governor's Island and our partnership with Earth Matters Soil Start Farm. AICH and our staff member, Aru Apaza, who's a member of the Amira from the Sacred Land of Bolivia, curated a garden space for the Agricultural Heritage Project on Governor's Island. The island is situated on 170 acres in New York's harbor and is just a short ferry ride from downtown New York City. There's also ferry service from Brooklyn to the island. Last year, AICH had its first summer residency on the island, and we welcomed over 15,000 visitors to our space. Aru has been hard at work creating AICH's first community house garden, and she's been documenting her experience while tending to the garden. And I'd like to share some of Aru's thoughts on the initial first stages of planting the garden back in early May. She said, before preparing the earth, I offer tobacco and a song, giving thanks to the ones before us in the way that I was taught. This must be done before anything else. We must say thanks to all the active caretakers of the land, the winged, the finned, the two-legged, and the four-legged. After offerings, preparations for the first bed can then begin. It is built in a big 10 by 10 circular mound in order to house the three sisters, corn, beans, and squash. This technique stretches back centuries and spans across tribal affiliations, and it is one of the best examples of companion planting. The corn is planted first, and after a few inches of growth, the beans, then the squash. The corn serves as a sturdy pole for the beans to climb. Beans are nitrogen fixers, utilizing their specialized roots. They transmute nitrogen from the air into plant food. Squash sprawls at the base of the ground, covering the ground, assisting with water retention and keeping weeds and some bugs at bay. Another farmer at the project happened to comment that the three sisters' bed looked like a spaceship, because the earth mounds look like UFOs made out of earth. This specific mound technique comes from the Haudenosaunee, whose people hold the legend and language of the sisters. While planting on Governor's Island the first week, I was grounded in the traditional teaching of the sisters of interdependence. Similarly to the sisters, we must rely on each other often. Our roles change, we protect, and we are protected. We give and we receive. We help one another to grow, and it is one of our sacred roles. Our plant sisters, I love that term, our plant sisters have so much to teach us. We simply must step up and listen. And with that, I say thank you to Aru for your nurturing spirit and that beautiful reflection. In addition to the three sisters crop, the community house garden is growing. There's also tobacco, sage, sunflowers, strawberries, and many other wonderful things that are coming from the earth. So each week we will provide an update on the community house's garden, what's growing, what will soon be ready for harvest, and Aru's garden thought of the week. One last thing, next week we'll talk about the plaque that is placed in our garden. The plaque recognizes and honors the indigenous plants hailing from different territories, along with expressing gratitude for those who helped make the garden a reality. When the island reopens to the public, we will make an announcement so you can visit the curated garden as a means to reconnect and heal. These past months have been challenging for our Native community in New York City, so we offer our garden as a participatory experience to reconnect. With the concerns of COVID-19 and the ongoing social injustices, what better way to receive nourishment from our Earth Mother than going back and reconnecting with our roots?
To continue Native programming and making our voices heard as Indigenous people, we suggest you actively participate in our 2020 census. We have experienced erasure for centuries, and to ensure we are still counted for, please take the 2020 census. 10 questions in 10 minutes determines the next 10 years of our New York City funds, 10, 10, 10. How many federal dollars New York receives for the next 10 years for schools, hospitals, roads, human services, and more is determined by the number of people counted in New York on Census Day. An interesting census statistic from 2010 relates to the Community Houses Garden Project. In 2010, the census counted a total of 79,703 American Indian and Alaskan Natives who served as operators of 61,472 farms and ranches across the U.S. To fill out the census, please visit AICH's website. Our 2020 census link will direct you to the form. It is quick and easy to do. I did the census. It's as easy as it sounds, maybe even easier. Easiest thing you can do, and so vitally important. And COVID-19 has been raging through our communities at alarming rates. Just when we think relief is somewhere in sight, another tribal nation hits high confirmed and suspected cases of the virus. The Navajo Nation, White Mountain Apache Tribe, the Pueblos of New Mexico, Zuni and Hopi have all been hit hard. Another tribe to please keep in your prayers is the Siksika First Nation. Siksika is a First Nation community in southern Alberta, Canada. This past week, and in only 5 days, Siksika First Nation has seen a 200-person increase of people who are waiting on test results. 258 people are currently under investigation for the virus. Now, this report comes from CBC News. Now, please keep in mind the vulnerable populations and our elders, especially our elders. Wearing a face mask is proven to help stop the spread of the virus. A face mask is not a political statement. If you don't mind, I'll say that again. A face mask is not a political statement. A face mask can save your life and the lives of others. By wearing a face mask, you are showing respect and courtesy to everyone you may encounter, including family, friends, and relatives.
Our Fit Native TV is back this week on Thursday, July 9th at noon, hosted and taught by ACH staffer Tanis Paranto, who's of the Métis Nation of Alberta. We're lucky and very thankful to have Tanis's fitness expertise. Besides getting workout lessons from Tanis, you can also see her on Showtime series Billions. So join us online for fitness classes that you can do from the comfort of your home. Classes are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can participate on Zoom or on Facebook Live.
And this Thursday, Native Theater Thursdays is back. And I must say, it's been a pleasure and an honor to be one of the co-organizers of Native Theater Thursdays since late April. It's truly been great. We've had great artists like Maria and so many others from across Turtle Island. They've become a part of it, and it's really continuing to grow. So and this week's play will be Quantum by Tara Moses. Tara Moses is a citizen of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, a director, award-winning playwright, and artistic director of the Tela Tulsa, and co-founder of Groundwater Arts. Tara is a Cultural Capital Fellow with the First Peoples Fund, invited playwright with HBMG Foundation's National Winter Playwrights Retreat, fellow with the Intercultural Leadership Institute, the Native Storytellers winner with the Yale Indigenous Performing Arts Program, and she holds a BA in theater from the University of Tulsa and is expected to attend Brown University Trinity Rep as a MFA candidate in directing in the fall of 2021. The play Quantum is about Ivy Johnson, who was adopted in the fall of 1998 to a Mexican-American mother and an African-American father. Although it's obvious that she's of color, she has never known where she comes from or her racial background. That is, until she sorts through her mail at Thanksgiving. The following weeks come with major discoveries, but they only leave her with more questions. And what makes someone Native? A blood quantum mandate demanded by the federal government? Culture, language, and pride? And what does it mean when your identity is stripped away from you? The rediscovering culture, reclaiming Indigenous identity, and learning what it means to be a Native woman in contemporary America is the road Ivy must travel. And this is inspired by her maternal grandfather's story. The live play reading will be streamed live on our Facebook this Thursday, the 9th, from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
And on Friday this week, Two-Spirit Indigiqueer Bingo is back. Two-Spirit Indigiqueer Virtual Bingo is the glitter fabulous Wow in the Pow event. Come to the virtual wigwam for a night of celebration and bingo. I know I am going to check that out. Who can resist bingo? Not me. Hosted by a Two-Spirit Indigiqueer guest during July. It will be fun and there will be chances to win awesome prizes and more. All are welcome. It's a safe, brave space. You can win AICH swag, beadwork, and just have some fun. So again, that's Friday night from 7 to 9 p.m. via Zoom. And some of our previous hosts and bingo callers include Landa Lakes, Prepahantas, Claudia Haddad, and Tony Enos.
And that's it for this week's AICH announcements. It's been a pleasure doing the announcements with you, Maria.
Pleasure was mine, Ryan. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a thrill to be part of the community.
And Wanishi, thank you to all of you for tuning in. And Welakun Tawakan, peace.
Peace Kunanamu. See you all later.
See you all next week.